right, so we're going to do our second lecture of our online learning stuff. So what I want to start with is a lot of you did, actually, you guys have been awesome about emailing me and staying in communication if you need to. Like, that's been a really important thing for me is, you know, if we can't see each other face to face, then we have to be able to communicate online. And I've had people that have emailed me, I've had people that have texted me, I've had to, you know, somebody end up needing to talk on the phone and get something sorted out. Like, these things, that's awesome. Like, it's been really good, really productive. So I'm really happy about that. Make sure you're in the Google group, okay? And if you are not, or you're having issues, which I know a lot of people have because it's a new thing, it's kind of tough to kind of wrap our heads around. I've had a lot of issues with high schoolers getting in, but once you're in, it's really not very bad, you know, very hard to understand. If you're having difficulty with that, email me or some sort of communication. Get in contact with me, okay? And I can send you a new invite, because after a while, I believe the email, which is probably buried in 1,000 emails you've gotten from teachers already, it will expire, okay? So email me, and I will get that resent, and we can get this figured out, okay? Because for this lesson, you're going to need to be able to get on Google Group, okay? So what we're going to do, we've talked about, and this is kind of really relevant in my opinion, is this idea of disease and stuff like that. So we talked about the plague, and we were looking at, you know, all this stuff through here. So we did this reading, right? Pandemics, which is crazy because we're literally in a pandemic right now. Like this, we're experiencing one. And quarantines, people, I mean, if you look at it, we are in a quarantine, right? We're out of school. We're quarantined away from, like, out of school. It's restricting the movement of people going to certain places, these bars, restaurants. It's kind of something I never expected to see in my life, but we're living it right now, okay? You know, so this is something that's interesting for us to look at, okay? And right here, this is a big one. A number of vaccines have been developed, okay? So what we're going to be doing in this lesson is we're going to be looking at vaccines, okay? And I'm going to keep this pretty short on my end, but what I'm going to have you guys do is you guys are going to end up looking at a virtual field trip, okay? And you won't go on this website, but it is Discovery Education, okay? So if you guys are interested in anything, maybe you're bored at home and you want to look at you know, some of these field trips, you can go to look at all these places. They do tons of stuff on here, okay? But this is what we're going to do. We're going to look at a virtual field trip about how they create vaccines and medicines and things like that. All right, so I will post this on Classroom, and I will post some questions on Google Groups, okay? And in the assignment on Classroom, I will talk about you have to open up Google Groups. I'll post the actual Google Group page, and hopefully it'll send you right to there, okay? So how you want to go about this is, hopefully it'll come up like this, all right? I do not believe you need to sign in. I did not. Okay, up here I didn't have a sign in or anything. It should just say Generation Health. AstraZeneca is the place we're going to do a field trip for. Okay, so it says, did you know that it can take up to 10 years from the initial research phase to the time a medication actually becomes available for public consumption? Now, in a situation we're having right now, you know, that's crazy. 10 years is a long time, right? Now, we have people that are, if you really dig into it and look at the information that we've seen in the media, is there are people that they're starting to test the vaccines that they've tried to develop in the last 2 months. I mean, this is a 4-month-old disease or virus, and, you know, people are trying to move this along a little more quickly because of what it is, right? So it's interesting to see that this might be something we can look into. So if you want to go back and look at the chapters, it's a 24-minute video, okay? What I'll do is I will show you. So I'm going to post some questions. and it'll be something like, what 3 things did you learn? What is something that you found really interesting? Stuff like that. And I'm going to have you post your response on Google Groups, and then you'll have to then post 2 more replies to your classmates. So say I posted a thing about, what I found interesting was blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then I'll have to reply to someone else who posts their initial response, and then it goes on. So we'll have probably in a class, my world history first hour class, I bet they had 6 initial responses, and there are 20 something total posts in there because of the replies and the discussions. Okay, so these are discussions we're going to have. I will press play. I'm going to start this and show you guys kind of how to go about this. Okay.
As a new day begins,
Okay, so you can go with closed captioning also. Just click on the CC, go English CC, and while you're going through this, it'll have the closed captioning.
It's a pursuit led by a team of dedicated scientists. With high risk.
Okay, so that's pretty easy, right? If you need to change resolution, maybe your internet's a little slower, you can lower the resolution a little bit. Now, when you have auto, it usually will make it so it won't be one or the other. It'll just kind of vary depending on the internet speed right now. Okay, you can maximize it with the full screen, stuff like that. All right. I really would like you to watch the whole thing. Maybe jot down a couple things. What I would do first is I would go to the Google group, find the questions, write those down, and while you're watching this video, this virtual field trip, I would answer those questions while you're doing it. Okay? So this is our assignment for probably Thursday, Friday. I'd like you to have this done come Monday when we come back to having class. Okay? And I'll go to Google Groups real quick just to kind of show you guys what it's like, okay? So, this is world history, all right? And then my first hour. So, like I said, there's tons of posts. So I posted the questions. This will be just like yours, set up just like yours, okay? It'll have the title, it'll have the questions, it'll have the assignment. So post your responses. I won't make it 100 words probably. I'll make it a little less. And then you'll have to reply to 2 people. Okay? What you'll do then is you will say I want to respond to Cage. Okay? You can just click post reply, or I don't want you to reply privately. Okay? I want you to post reply. All right? Now, if you want to reply to me, you just click here to reply, and that'll create your initial. Okay? So that's how you'll create your initial, and you will go to individual people to do your replies. Okay? If you have any questions again, please let me know. And, you guys have been really good about communicating. If you communicate with your classmates, if you talk to any of them, on video games, or you text them or Snapchat them, let them know that they need to join these groups, because I still have some people that have not. They need to communicate with me and email me if they're not getting in. And this is no different than us going to school, guys. We have to still do this stuff. We still have to go about our day like we would a normal school day, right? So get our stuff done, and then take time for yourself, right? If you get your stuff done in the morning, go do whatever you want to do. Play video games or whatever else, right? Do what you have to do, but this is what we need to really get done. So email me if you have any issues or anything that you have to, if you're having a tough time getting stuff done, communicate with me. All right, I'm pretty good with you and flexible if you communicate with me first. Okay? All right, well, you have a good day, and I will wait on some responses.